Oh man, I I completely failed to upload the VOD for you guys. Crap. All right, you're getting two this weekend, so sorry about that. And I distinctly remember in the last stream saying that I would upload the VOD like yesterday. I really need to automate the workflow or something. I don't have an automated workflow for it. I do the stream, and then I grab them with Twitch Leecher, little app, and then I upload them to YouTube and make the thumbnails. And yeah, it only takes a couple minutes. If I'm busy on other stuff, I totally forget about it. So that is my excuse. I mean, it's not even an excuse. I'm not trying to give you an excuse. I'm telling you why I failed. Hey, Chad Solo. Happy Friday. I appreciate you guys for letting me be 47 minutes late. We were running late this evening, Jasmine and I was like, I'm not gonna rush dinner, and so we had dinner just like right before this. Fat Chunk, Northern Sky, XV, Wickasloth, Bill, Orcish Morkish, Davion, Sarek Metz, Ghastly, hello, Amnesiac, Archibaldism, hallo, wie geht's? Perez Dispenser. Might as well just turn the servers on. No. I'm not trusted with that capability. I don't know how to do that. Hello, Caution, I'm stoned. Perez Dispenser, hello, Kinji, Itod. Yeah, it's Labor Day weekend for you guys. That's pretty cool. XV said, rushing to get my GPU overheating issues resolved before the test. Best of luck with that. Turn the music up a little bit so you guys can hear it a little bit better. I've tried to fix the green screen issues, but I may... On my other monitor, I kind of look like I'm Oompa Loompa orange. So I think what was going on was... and somebody mentioned this a long time ago. I was looking to see if it was one of the automated settings on the camera, like auto whatever. So I checked like autofocus, I checked a number of things, and it looks like it was the auto white balance. Because I had clicked off everything that I thought it was, and then reached my hand towards the camera. So it's like autofocus, which now I'm out of focus, but that should be on again. It wound up being the white balance. What kind of lighting do you use? I've got a little hanging light bulb, LED light bulb. I've got an old LED, like portable LED, you know, sort of photographer thing, blasting this wall near the green screen, and then I have a whatchamacallit, Elgato like LED up, sort of blasting up at the ceiling. Because it's a weird setup in here. Hey, Naru. Gorf the Imp, Corvus, Coot, Classic EverQuest, Meeks, Tsunami-san, Florane. Perez Dispenser said, I had a 2070 Super, and after I replaced the thermal paste, everything has been great. I have a 2070 Super. Hey, Candyman. What's up, Robert? How are the audio levels? I turned up the music a little bit. I'm just reading right now. Hey, Marcy. What's up, Mir? Otto. I have not had my 2070 get too crazy sounding. I know that some of you guys have run into issues and stuff, and I'm really bad at speaking on the sort of the technical goings on, especially when it comes to hardware. But I've definitely heard some mixed reports from folks that I think they've all been validated by the team or whatever. But I mean, my 2070 works. My machine's not, you know, it's not like super horrible, but it's also not like it's not a beast by any stretch of the imagination. I always forget. So, my CPU is i7 7700 420. My GPU is like I said, it is a RTX 2070 Super. I've got 64. Am I lying or is that true? Got 64 gigs of RAM. Yeah. Hey, Chinny. Dinner was okay. Dinner wasn't super tasty, but it was okay. I do cooking, so it's okay if I say it's not great. Today was not great. So yeah. So Candyman was referencing like the new fire graphics and new racial graphics and stuff. The team has been like polishing the faces and things of that nature on the character side. We've got a new guy on the team. You'll see him around. Discord handle is Archer. He's a he's an effects guy by trade. And so he reached out to us and was very interested in the project and in helping us, and it just came off his last project. So naturally we snatched it up because, I mean, there's a lot that we would like to do with VFX, and we've got very little time, and Zukin had been working on them up until now, and he's got a never-ending stream of characters and new stuff and polished stuff, and working with the guys and helping make sure the team gets everything done. So really good timing on that. And yeah, so stuff will continue to come together. What's up, Magnus, Death Rider, Gunnerwolf, Let's Play. I think I said hi to Zukin. Hopefully I said hi to Zukin. SSA Blue Knight, Hoops, U Shoes, Sneers, Weirdo. Have you talked to Ali or whoever does the launcher? Right now we cannot set a download speed, and when it's open it literally accepts everything I have. I wouldn't have talked to him about that because that is not something I thought of. Have you mentioned it in Discord? Maybe tagged him. If he's in here later, you can mention it there as well. I know he's been working on a new launcher. I don't know if it's going to be available for this playtest. The fact that I haven't heard much about it makes me think maybe no. I'm going to turn this down a little bit because I swear it's got to be loud for... but if it is not a part of this playtest, it'll be available for November. Hey Darius, Kivik. What's up, Sparrow? Justin Beard. I'll shoot Ali a message. What's up, Eric? Just got home from the grocery store. Was pretty busy with the long weekend happening. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Do you guys, are you able to buy groceries like 7 days a week where you live? Excuse me. You accidentally got flour and rice. You don't know what to do with that, Justin Beard. You cook it. I had rice for dinner. Yes, 7 days. Not sure if you're, I'm asking, yeah, asking you, anybody. Yeah, because you can only grocery shop. You can only grocery shop 6 days a week in Germany. They close the grocery stores on Sundays. Like everything's closed on Sundays basically. I mean, not like restaurants and stuff, but maybe it started as a religious thing, but they're all a bunch of godless heathens here. So I don't think that's it anymore. Apologies if you're one of them. You heard me. Try my best. Converted one. They've got beautiful churches, just not a lot of religious people. What's up, Rex? I won't go too deep into that topic. I don't want to veer off. Sparrow said, I remember growing up in Ontario, everything was closed on Sundays. Yeah, my wife says it's mainly to ensure that everybody can have a day off. But I'm like, why do you want a day off if you can't go shopping and shit? Like, if the thing is you worked all week, and then it's like, if everything's closed in the evenings and on Sundays, it's just like, when are the people that work all week supposed to get stuff done? Oh man, Algnosis said, "Hey, can't wait for the playtest. Also, the patch notes were amazing. Thanks for the team's hard work. Mostly the team's hard work. Nick pulled those together and posted them for you. Naturally, if you're reading that, a lot of that stuff in there, especially on the class side of things. I know a lot of you guys are interested in that. That's all." Stuff that you can credit him with and ping him about in Discord. Cryo Cesar, thank you for popping in here and saying hi. And I don't know, have you been lurking or are you new here? What are we working on today? Well, today I've been trying to get it done. Not done. I mean, it's never going to be done, but I've been trying to, my weeklies. A lot of us will post like a weekly. What did we do? What did we do last week? What are we doing this week? And lore stuff is a bullet point on mine constantly, and that I'm constantly prioritizing everything else over lore stuff, and it's not getting done. And so we've got some new zones that are going to be started very, very soon with the month ending and a new month starting. UK Pure, thank you for the follow. And so they need some of this foundational work to get cleaned up and hammered out. And so today I finally sat down and was just like, not going to get involved in anything else. Let me just start doing that. Because for me, it's one of the coolest, most fun things to work on. On the flip side, it's the hardest thing to do in a normal day because there's a lot of context switching that can happen. It's like answering questions or working on little things, switching between tasks, just the real life interruptions that happen here and stuff like that. And so it's really hard to sit down and kind of get in the zone or get in the mindset of all right, so I don't know how it is for you guys, but for me, I have to kind of sit there and put myself into the world, right? Just kind of walk into the history of this area and then start looking around and asking questions about why is this way and where did it come from and what who's implicated and all that. And I'm not saying that by any means that's covered in some ultra great fashion or whatever, but try to at least spot the big gaping sort of holes or question marks before the team gets in and starts refining stuff. So anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. Troll lore and their incredible world. Trolls, you're doing trolls? Is there going to be work on trolls? Hey, you know what? Soon. Be working on some troll lore soon. I was thinking about trolls though. I think about trolls an awful lot. Just because they're kind of fun. What we know about them so far is fun. And so I was working on Deep Elf stuff, right? And we'll be working on troll stuff soon after Deep Elf stuff. And given the nature of the Deep Elves, it's hard not to think about the trolls a little bit. So You're excited to run around and die in Scarwood this test. You should be able to. I just, it is what it is, right? Like, you guys have seen the progress. It's your zone. So, but it's it's in progress, clearly. Looking through some old notes as I open up a new note. Reading a little bit more. Sorry. I'm trying to clear some stuff up. Don't tell me the elves and trolls are related. Zukin said they kiss and everything probably. No, they're not related. They are not related. The trolls are pretty cute. I would kiss a troll too. Probably. Ooh, that's an interesting one, Chinny said. If any bug reports ever come in for the environment stuff related to Scarwood, do you think you'll address those on stream to continue the process? I think that's a really good idea. That makes a lot of sense. And there's some POI work that needs to go on there. A little bit more terrain work. So we might, who knows? We'll see how things go one of these days. If things are pretty caught up or whatever. I don't know, maybe a little mini dungeon in there that the community assists with in a manner similar to what's been done so far with the zone. It'd have to be pretty mini though, you know what I mean? Like, especially if it's me working on it. But I actually, so I pinged CAD. I'm gonna have to say CAD so I don't say, because it sounds like I'm talking about a fish when I say COD. I pinged CAD about grabbing some of what he was using for Rothold to maybe turn that into like a little bit of a asset set that we could reshape for an idea of the mini dungeon that could be in Scarwood, because it's a dungeon, like it's a thing we discussed in relation to Scarwood in the past. So because there's a lake there and there's a ruined resort that sank into the mud, right? So I've been thinking about that one an awful lot, and I figured if it's that close to where the old Roothold Keep was, then maybe the aesthetic would be similar. It's from like the similar era. Planning on streaming next week. Yeah, I might as well keep up the schedule. That's a good point. I'll stream on Monday because it's kicking things off. Then the focus is really going to be on providing customer service support, and then after that, I can do some streams during the week probably. I would feel bad. We'll see how the customer service situation is, because I get a lot more done CS wise if I'm not streaming. Because there's certain stuff that we just, you don't need to see. You don't need to see everything. right? If we're dealing with problems and certain issues or behaviors or whatever, you don't necessarily need to see that. Hey, Doggeroni. Oh, I'm excited about the new update graphic. Have you guys seen it? I'm not going to spoil it until the update goes out if you guys haven't seen it, but it'll be my new desktop. Will you ever add a paradise zone, one with lush vegetation, no bad weather, etc.? That sounds like a neat idea. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've thought of anything like that. I don't know anybody on the team's mentioned it so far. We have a really cool, the opposite of paradise zone that you guys haven't seen yet. That's gonna be real cool. It's work that Simon and Chinny have wrapped up or are wrapping up. What about a Waffle House PvP arena? PvP arena is gonna happen. I think we need to like basically just. There's an idea for where the PvP arena is gonna go in Night Harbor. I said there's an idea. I think I've thrown this out there and I didn't hear any no's or whatever, and didn't hear a better location. So the old temple in the old temple market, we were going to do more with that. I still think it's worthwhile to probably make the old temple into a market in that first area a little bit, like finish building that out and propping it out. But then it's going to lead into a giant arena chamber. And so that will be the arena in Night Harbor. There's a secret arena in Night Harbor as well. There'll be a PvP arena in the Ogre City for sure. It's funny you say Waffle House. I have a Waffle House tattooed in my armpit. That is now like a 30-year-old tattoo. That's wild. Justin Beard's like, oh really? Best of the best are amazing. I can absolutely see us doing that type of thing. I don't think there's a patent on it. A patent. The armpit location and commentary on the Waffle House. It was by my tattoo artist. So the way it worked at the tattoo parlor that I went to when I was in the Army was I would go in there and tell him crazy stories about my upbringing, and he would laugh. And I would basically do that on weekends when I wasn't doing Army stuff. I'd go hang out with Joel and the guys at the tattoo parlor, and like I'd get people to sign waivers and help out like that in that way. And then whenever Joel had extra time, he would tattoo me for basically free. And so I told him all about the Waffle House incidents and stuff back home when I was young. And so he was like, "You want a Waffle House?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." And then he was like, "All right, but it's gonna go in your armpit." It explains the jet ski mafia tattoo, I guess. I wish I had cool tattoos like that. I don't. Most of my tattoos are really kind of silly. Decided to check out Scarwood a little bit and get murked by mobs way higher level than me. Marcy, yeah, I mean, just get an invis and you should be good. Did the armpit hurt for getting a tattoo? It was not good. The armpit was not good. And it sucked, and then my arm bruised considerably. Like my arm bruised down to my elbow. It was kind of banana colored, like old banana. Yeah, swelling was not great either. So I have nothing up at the moment. you know, I can run around in game or whatever, but I also I have some work that I need to do on the side. I debated whether or not I wanted to do it on stream, but it is directly applicable to you guys, so I figured it wouldn't hurt to do it with you guys. But it also would kind of ruin a little bit of like surprise of us putting it together. But Team M&M tattoo design win. I don't know. Do we want to set some criteria behind the scenes for what it would take for us to get tattooed? Jay Irish said my wife's tattoo artist asked her, "Do you want to start with the armpit or the elbow?" And neither of those seem like good options. No. I actually don't have my elbow tattooed. I was always busting up my elbows, and so I've got a missing spot on my elbow. I got a lot of little scars and bumps and stuff on my elbow, so I never thought of what I wanted there, and was just like, ah, screw it. Something phallic seems on brand for us. I don't know about that. I think, I mean, it is totally on brand for us. I just don't know if that needs to be the tattoo. Silky Johnson tramp stamps. That'll be an interesting one to... Got your first tattoo in the army after drinking a barrel of soju? Oof, that sounds horrible. Where were you? South Korea? Were you on the DMZ? Justin said, I really wanted to get a tattoo, but getting diagnosed with lymphedema slammed that door shut. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, Justin. I know you've been excited about getting it. Is there any way that could ever like fix itself or get fixed and then you could get a tattoo? Korea, yeah, DMZ. My dad was stationed in DMZ. I've got some great photos of him when he was stationed there during the Seoul Olympics. Let me see. So the reason why I have Excalibur open, I guess I'll start doodling in the background because I don't think there's any harm in doing what I was thinking about doing with you guys, and probably only benefit, to be honest. So let me start doodling and then we'll lock it in a minute. I've been wanting to do like another brainstorm with you guys, and I mentioned in a recent stream that it was like, oh, it'd be cool to brainstorm that, and I've completely forgotten what it was that I was talking about on that brainstorm. Next town over, Brunswick, supposedly has decent tattoo shops. Well, we got to get you healthy then, Justin Beard. We got to get you eating better too, man. It doesn't sound like you're eating good if you're always at McDonald's. Did I ever live overseas growing up? Yeah, I lived when I was first born, like around age 1, I lived in Panama City, Panama for a while. Then I was back in the US, went to Germany when I was really young and lived in Germany for 3 or 4 years. And this last year, around last Christmas, my mother, my uncle, my wife and I, we went over and actually visited the family whose house we rented a floor in, and got to hang out with their daughters who were like my age at the time and all this stuff. I think I was like age 3 or 4 until 6 or 7. So that was Germany once. Went back to the US, moved back to Germany again from like age 8 to 11 or 12, I think. Those were my times that I lived overseas when I was growing up. It was a super fantastic, magical place. Living in Germany as a kid back in the 80s, super good. Super, super cool. It's a bit different here now, but we're not going to get into that. Let's see. You want to incorporate M&M into your sleeve or calf? Hey, you know what? I would say wait till we've been out for a year and you're still happy with us before you do that. I don't want any jilted girlfriend shit later. What's up, Dargith? Cryo said, I'm not getting a tattoo, skin too wrinkly. I'm engraving a leather desk pad with the M&M logo though. What? Too wrinkly? Are you older or are you just from Florida? I can say that. I was born in Florida. So I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to make that joke. Nobody get offended. Don't get offended. Don't do it. You're offended on behalf of Florida Man. I am Florida Man, fart nugget. So you're not allowed. I'm not letting you be offended on my behalf. Thank you. Darkenside, what's going on? Darkenside said I made a new character the other day on EQ2, but for some reason it's stuck with like negative 75% run speed, no matter if I log out or close the game, reopen or unequip everything. My bag has pissed me off. Is it a paid account or is it a free to play account? Do you need to buy the move rate upgrade? I don't know that that's a thing, so don't get mad at me, EG7. It's a paid account? Okay. I don't know that that's real. I'm not saying that that's real. You're a member? I'd say. Just kidding, Dark Inside. You're not really a member to me. Coffee may be kicking in. Making fun of Gator Growlers. Dude, Gator Growlers is a brilliant idea. You can't let us forget that. Blue Knight said I loved Germany in the 80s, but it was still great in 2000. Yeah, it's a red country. So was the new update today everything for the playtest? I feel like all the character creation, all the character creation stuff in everything in the update that was posted should be there for the playtest, unless I'm mistaken. How do you guys handle the humidity? I was in get off my screen. Florida about 9 years ago around this time. It was just brutal. I can imagine Alabama similar. Yeah, Alabama and Florida are similar. Dude, early morning, like weekend football practice when I was in Alabama was rough, man. You could see the steam coming off the grass as it was heating up. All right, so what's up, IGT? This stuff is way too big if that's as big as everything is. Let's shrink it down. Should be working smaller anyways. Make sure I'm not missing anything important. Who was it that was asking about launcher download speed control? Tsunami-san? Ollie said he hadn't considered it, but why not? Don't let us forget. Up here we don't get much humidity, but I lived in South Carolina. I almost said Kakalaki. For a few years, and I could say was a really pretty state, but I was just one of the people that my brain just completely stopped. But I was just one of the people that likes a lot of humidity. There's a huge difference between New England humidity and like deep south Gulf Coast humidity. It's true. I would assume that starts with temperature. I have to assume the temperature is wow, this is still pretty big. The temperature is just a lot different up there in Maine. I mean, all I know about Maine really is like from Stephen King. Class and Cool said Eminem Loki got that fire skibidi Riz no cat. I can't. Every once in a while I'll hear people speaking in that manner on the internet now, like on videos where it's mainly just talking about people that speak in that manner. It's just I can't. I'm officially old. When I see a grown adult saying dead ass, I just want to go move to the woods and I love you guys and want us to want us to always hang out and be friends and do good things together. But man, sometimes I dead ass want to move to the woods. That's correct, Zukin. Zukin's not making it any easier on me. Court said, I lived in Georgia my whole life. It just becomes part of the day. You just accept it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm shocked at how much pause is good though. I didn't know how widespread that one was, but I like it. That's different. What's up, Simon? Court, yeah, I noticed. I mean, I lived in Austin, and my gym was in my garage, right? And it was just like, I just got used to sweating it out in Austin, and I was like, I can never live anywhere cold. I can never. You know, I'd have like job offers or whatever in Seattle, and I was like, I can never do it. Seattle's beautiful, but I could never do it. And then I moved to Germany, northern Germany. And my body just completely adapted to it. And now I'm like, oh man, it was nice today. And I translate I do the Fahrenheit Celsius translation. And I'm like, I am wearing a t-shirt thinking it feels nice in 65-degree weather. Sneers, I don't have to roll with it. I am not a submissive person. I will not go along with some of the silliness in our language these days. Sparrow said, I always wanted to move to the woods. It's just never happened with my life choices. That's how Jasmine and I entertain ourselves. We get on Zillow and we continue to add to our saved house list of houses that we hope to one day be able to get. 65 is nice, totally t-shirt weather. See, coming from somebody that thought like, yeah, man, 85 is like a nice kind of cool day. I know, Sneers. I'm just playing along with you. We're both being silly. Euros log off. We're using Fahrenheit. Hey, you know. Sparrow said, I'm absolutely a Zillow browser and saver. It is so crazy to see what happened with the house prices. I'll look at the house price history. I noticed some people talking about this in Discord earlier. I look at the house price history at some of the places we're looking, like Montana, Wyoming, Idaho. And it was like 2019, a house would be like 250K or whatever, 300K. 2020, 2021, 600, 700, 800. Like if you look at the price history, it was just like line going up. And I was just like, man, not to trigger everybody or whatever, but man. So yeah, we've got some houses on our list that we've been watching for like over a year, and some of them are starting to come back down a little bit to more reasonable range, but we're looking for acreage. We're looking for some real acreage. And sorry, those of you that come in here to learn about Monsters and Memories and look at Monsters and Memories and discuss Monsters and Memories. I was thinking about this this week actually. Like, I apologize that I'm just not like a great Monsters and Memories conveyor at times. I'm happy to answer what questions I can about Monsters and Memories and work on it and all that stuff in front of you and work with you guys on all that stuff. But, if we're talking about other shit, we're talking about other shit. All right, so Monsters and Memories related. Dead ass. Let's no cap. Let's do this. Let me grab a list. So we want to provide you guys with a little feature. Kitsunarel said, yeah, I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to afford a home unless I hit the lottery. Yeah, it's incredible. I was talking to Jasmine about that fact on you guys' behalf. And it's rough. I definitely feel for folks. I mean, it's not like I can afford one either. Let's get real. But we have plans and plots and banks to rob. So let me go find this thing. So we've been working on a little thing. Swanee has been assembling it for you guys, and I've told Swanee that I want to do like a little sitemap. I'm using that term loosely. I'm not. This isn't what I do for a living. So I'll use the wrong terminology or whatever, but we don't let that stop us from getting shit done on Monsters and Memories. Not knowing what we're doing has never stopped us from doing. How's tinkering coming along? I don't know that tinkering is coming along at all. We have not worked on tinkering. We will work on tinkering, but it's being tinkered with. I don't even want to lie and say it's being tinkered. It is not being tinkered with. All right. So the thing that we're working on is a community portal, a community dashboard. I like dashboard better. I think we've been using dashboard. Where it makes it easier for you guys to find information and even more information than you already have. And some of the information that we have, isn't necessarily the easiest to find at times, etc. So and I told Swanee that, because he's so great about like getting stuff put together very fast. I was like, let me work on kind of like a a layout for this thing, so I can maybe better convey what it is that I think we need. So we'll start getting the pieces going. Imagine this is a web page. So we got known issues. This keeps covering up my dealie here. Needs more gifts? I know. We'll hand it over to you for a polish pass, so you can gift it up. Do I work full time on M&M? I do, in a manner of speaking. We've got playtest results, but I do think we'll be talking about metrics, because we told you we want to show you guys like what's going on with regards to revenue and stuff like that. So let's just we'll call that metrics for now. Maybe you guys can come up with a better name for it. And this will be just a different kind of stream tonight. Playtest results. That'll probably change after we go live though, huh? That's going to be different. I think playtest results probably just becomes metrics. So let's think about that one. Let's actually go ahead and do that. Oops. If this just completely bores the shit out of you guys, you can let me know and we can try something else, you know. But I figured if I can get this done on the streaming clock, then that's cool. Server status, that is on the list right here. Good call, join a cult. Server status. Dargus said this totally bores the shit out of me. Full pivot to playtest stream. I mean, we could do that, but you wouldn't be included. Not with that attitude, mister. Roadmaps. You are very helpful, Dargus. Always have been. Let's just flip the servers on for a sec. No one will see. So this will be... Let's put a name up here. Community spelled totally, pause. I don't know why my brain did that. Community portal. That's not what I wanted to call it. Dashboard. Dashboard. Irish says, jokes aside, I used to this kind of work, so I'm enjoying the stream. Hey, you know what? See ya, Sneers. You know what? Then you can do that. You can do that work some more here by helping us figure it all out. Do we already have roadmaps? Development history, copy, roadmap. Psst. Oops, didn't want to do that. Roadmaps. Patch notes. Is that different from updates? We'll do it anyways, but I think it kind of seems redundant, but let's... Patch notes. More important than updates, in my opinion. It's like one of those immediate, you want to know it, right? You want to know what was in the patch notes. I hate that I'm doing that with the S. I need to stop that. It's going to sound like shit on the VOD and I'm not going to be able to listen to it. Updates could include non-game stuff. That's true. Updates are, you know, and they got concept art and asset art and all that fun stuff. So that's fun. Is boxing allowed during the September test? Yes. Just don't get insane with it. I thought updates would be announcements, right? Announcements would probably be more like, hey, you need to know this simple thing right now kind of thing. Like, emergency maintenance is happening on Tuesday instead of Wednesday this week. Comment section. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to link to any sort of like a forum or anything like that. Keep in mind, the rest of the website will continue to exist. We may just integrate some of this stuff in here or feed it off of there. Playtest results is going to get. The merch button will be, that'll just be a part of the header or whatever, right? So imagine this is just part of... Like basically, it's just kind of, it's a button up here. And then it takes you to this page, and we maybe eliminate something like, you know, FAQ or whatever up there. So yeah, updates, double updates. Double trouble. Yeah, it's just, I think I just copied it to fill in. So we've got roadmaps. New player guide. Though that may be called like game manual or something at some point. Patch notes is up here. Metrics we got. Bugs, known issues we've got. That looks funny. Any plans to run polls besides on Discord down the line? Maybe down the line, but that's if we start to like do more additional sort of functionality or whatever. For who we are, it's really so much easier to use something like Discord. I know not everybody's into it, and we probably don't reach certain people because of it, but it's so much easier for us to just have that there. And then if we start splitting our focus across multiple communication like forums and stuff, we already have more than our hands full with Discord. Now imagine like splitting that focus into additional forums and stuff. Policies. Server status I think we got. Cool. Petition status. Hey, Home Jum. Emailing that there is a poll could help. That's true. And email, like emailing a poll as well is something we could do. Could be doing more of that. That's true. Because we've got, I'll be honest, I haven't even looked. Like, let me check real quick, see how many people we've got in our mailing list. Yeah, I've got policies right here. So policies are going right here. Metrics, monthly, quarterly KPIs is right here. Bugs, known issues. Petition status. Petition / petition status. Because we'll likely let you be able to petition, like if you can't access your account or whatever. We'll let you petition as long as you have an account from the web as well. Caranthia, thank you for the follow. If you ever make the night less dark, can you please leave us an option to have it as dark as they currently are? I really like the light as mechanic through torches and campfires. Yeah, I think that'll always be always be the case. Let me finish looking up. You need a link to the shop on the dashboard. It'll be right above it. It'll be. Do I still have this open? It'll be up here. So it'll always be up here. Right. Checking something really fast. We have 9,955 email subscribers. With only, so that's out of 10,500. So we've had some unfollows over the years, but almost 10,000 email subscribers is good. Because they're definitely not all in Discord. To be honest, I wish they went the Rust route and locked down the Gamma. The problem is we are dealing with multiple hardware types that then it doesn't look the way we want it on some certain machines. So it's a bit of a problem. We could have like a whole petition section. So that's what we're going to do now, right? Because we don't want to get too much stuff. I almost called this stuff crap. But none of this is crap. Oh. All right, so from here, so from here, we've got petition status. So we probably want to build this out. So this could be, I mean, we could even make this support. Does that make it less clear what it is? Because then this will be petition status, tech support, what? Having the playtest stats stream during the playtest was cool. Yeah, we want to have that coming off of the. This is redundant, I think. So the metrics page. We'll move it over here just so it'll be easier to do like a little arrow off of. So we'll come over here. What's up, the school dude? Thank you for the follow. And we'll say this will include current metrics. So what we want to have is, you know how like you can get, you know, you can look at like Steam charts or whatever and get like, look at people's like CCU curve. It's funny because a lot of people, they read this the wrong way, and it doesn't. When you read a CCU curve, it creates a false narrative. You know, it's this idea that they only had 700 people play today, which is that's not true. That's just not how that works. So we want to provide more data rather than less, so that when people are like, you know, coming up with wild theories and stuff, then it's just easy to point and go, that is actually not what you're looking at. So like that dashboard that you guys see during the playtests, that's something that we want to maintain, right? So we'll call that, you know, current metrics. Maybe we'll make this even bigger. That's like current metrics dashboard. People get really unhealthy about player counts on Steam charts. Yeah, but it's also because I think they're only getting a little live metrics. That's better. Thank you. We'll say live metrics. Thanks, Zach. And then we don't need a dashboard because we know it's going to be one of our dashboards. So actually, let's go all the way back. Are we planning on launching on Steam? We have no plans to be on Steam at this time. As much as we like Steam and, you know, Gabe and all that stuff, it's no plans for us to be there at this time. Smaller indie MMOs, at least ones that I've either worked on or been around, they will tend to hit Steam up after they've tapped their core audience. Deadass metrics, no Sparrow. I don't think that's how that works. I think its proper usage in a sense would be like, we will have metrics, deadass. And so we can have a lot of that stuff that we have, you know, the live metrics, we can have. That was from Bounty Code. Listen, you guys, you got, no, with the skibidi. I don't even believe that's a thing. That, I read skibidi and I think Paula Abdul is going to jump out with Jazz Cat or something at some point. That's how old I am. Oh my god, this is a badass image. I gotta send that to... I'm not gonna tell you who I'm gonna send it to. You guys, you piece stuff together, you're crazy. You're crazy like that, you're sleuths. So live metrics, and then we'll have essentially like our monthly or whatever, monthly, quarterly metrics. What got us on this again? There's something else that we wanted to... And this may wind up being just one big, this may wind up just being one big dashboard for you guys. So we'll do this, and we'll grab this fella here, and we'll get them all straightened out. But you let me know. Oh, playtest results. Yeah, but playtest results, I forgot, that's going to be invalid once it's no longer about playtesting, right? So live metrics, monthly, quarterly metrics, whatever, it's wherever we land. Prismatic pools like Yellowstone Park are already on the list for an area. Are you going to have a big lore section on the site, or are you doing it all in game? We want to do as much of it as possible in game. Naturally, we want to have some lore enticing you and tantalizing you and getting you to come in and check it out. But I say this as someone that had to do it back in the day. Do you remember way back in EverQuest days? EverQuest Planes of Power updates. Images? I don't know. Do you remember there are like these little painted images for Planes of Power and I think Legacy of Akesha? They were like little painted images with some like lore. They had like the... It would be something like this, but then you could tell an artist took a screenshot and painted over it. Yeah, like this guy. No, that's not it, is it? No, not Sarin. It wasn't in game. It was posted on the website. It was kind of like this, and then there's a bunch of, there's like some writing, right? There's some lore. You probably don't remember them. Anyways. I was gonna juxtapose that against my, yeah, like this guy right here. And then there are, you know, there might be some lore or whatever written. Or like a story. So anyways, what happened with those was we were told we didn't have very much money for the marketing budget for the expansions. And so I had an idea of what if we just did a thing leading up to the expansion, like each week we'll release a new bit of lore with a new image to try to hype up the community before the expansion went live. And so there was a guy on the web team that my producer Robert Pfister knew. His name was Mark something, and he worked for the web team as an artist, and he was willing to, on the side and like in conjunction with the web team, essentially, we did this thing where I would find a cool screenshot, send it to him. He would do a paint over. I would write up a blurb, a block of lore. It explained like Nathaniel Marr and the new frog locks and shit like that. Anyways, when we did it for LOY as well, and it was like a bunch of lore, and so that was like a phase of my career where it's like write up a bunch of stuff and send it out. And I'm not really as big a fan of that anymore. I love the idea of there being a bunch of lore and you discover it in game, right? But like writing up a multi-page like fanfic to put on our website to get you guys to read it. I know a lot of folks are into lore and probably would appreciate that, but I feel like maybe the lore is something that is better for us to present in game first and then flesh out in a more player facing way kind of after the fact. Now, don't get me wrong, it'd be cool if there were books about the game and all sorts of stuff one of these days, but I just think sometimes there's too much telling and not enough showing. Would you write lore about past, would you write books about past lore? Me personally, no, because I'm not a good enough writer. But like, would it be awesome if people would eventually take some of that lore and make books? That'd be super good. Yeah, and I think having lore blurbs like in the manual was really cool. Like, so having that type of thing in the manual and stuff would be really cool. But it's just, just like a little bit. A historian profession for lore people. Yeah, I wonder if some of the ones that we've already got in the books, if we could tie those together to make something like that and have it be things that unlock even more. Yeah, Lasava. Gutterwolf said, old pillars at the bottom of the lake of Scarwood Villa that have some lore written out. Yeah, stuff like that would be really cool as well. Hopefully there will be plenty of lore explained videos or wikis full of lore for the player facing side too. I think it's really great when the community actually pulls that together. I watched a lot of those EverQuest lore videos that people like Level Up Larry and Zayd and Bobby Bick and folks did, and it was crazy like seeing how they pulled that together, because a lot of that stuff wasn't written down like that behind the scenes. So all right, so back to this. How about a monster manual that information gets filled out in? Again, I think stuff like that is, I've liked games in the past where they had that type of thing integrated, like a codex or whatever it was called in Warhammer Online. But for us, I think it'll be cooler to just see you guys pull it together. Bugs and known issues. Does that stay its own top level category, or does it do we put that into support? Think about that one. Also, think about whether or not Keep it top level? Okay. And where was it? Okay, yeah, good. And this one, do we put within support, do we put a submit bug button in there? Is the order you have them in important? I'd move new player guide closer to the top. What you're saying makes sense, but something about it makes me hesitant. Let me think about that one. Wicket, it makes sense, but I'm also thinking where else, right? Because imagine, let's do this. Let's help each other out here. Let's go here. So that we just remember it exists. Limited use possibly open to spam. No, you'd have to log in to use it. John, for the bug submission. For petition submission and bug submission, you have to log in for it. And so the question that you guys were answering before was report bug. I would say support bugs, known issues. Maybe it also will have a button that takes you there then, right? So that's the fun of doing this, I guess. Copy. Report bug. And known issues. And then this guy, I don't know, this may be wacky, but let's try it out. Let's see what you think. Oh, now I know why that line's being stupid. I actually want this kind of line. All right. I'm always hesitant about to nest submit bug buttons since I've experienced being unable to navigate the menu to submit Bug button due to the bug I want to submit. But you should be able to navigate to submit a bug on the web. Nothing should prevent you from doing that, unless I'm just misunderstanding what you mean. I was thinking count in good standing, otherwise could just make a new one and spam until caught. We can edge case this stuff later. Yeah, it's a web portal, Mir. Sorry. I probably wasn't clear enough. Alright. See you, babe. Yeah, so this is web-based. This is not in-game. That is why we've got this guy up here as well, to remind you this will be up above it. And these may change. But this is the community dashboard. Web dashboard. You could always report it in Discord if there's an issue. And we could also, I mean, we can, adding another Discord button doesn't cost us anything. And it could potentially even go to like known issues or a specific channel. You know what I mean, Vern? So, policies, straightforward. FAQs will be a variety of FAQs, I think. The FAQs will be moved off of our... initially, the link will just go to... well, no, I think he's already got it set up. But FAQs will be a new format. It'll be more of like a... where you can search easily and blocked out a little bit nicer and stuff like that. Vortex of releases, No Man's Sky Voyagers, group ships, and the next expedition and PoE 2 launching, then M&M on Monday. Nice. Get it out of your system, though. What's up, Dragon? What are we missing? Are we missing anything? Are we good here now? Did you guys help me get all my homework done? That's what this is, basically. It's me trying to get my homework done tonight. Can we have an AI chat helper on the page, but we set parameters to be an in-game troll? Ugh. Chat's leaning over your shoulder like a parent. I'm requesting it. Do you want YouTube or social media button? We have that all up here, so it'll be in the header. So again, picture. This is our web page. That is not our web page. That is also still not our web here too. We'll do dotty lines, I guess. What's up, Bill? 3 more days, 3 more days. Glad you guys are excited, man. It's always a bit nerve-wracking. Yes, sir, Bill, that's what we're doing. Do we intend on having community forums? Might be a good one to have. Sorry, this was discussed. No worries. Yeah, I hit it a little bit earlier. The challenge is we've got limited mental bandwidth, and we don't want to go heavy on like moderators and stuff, people that aren't on the team. And so I think, you know, maybe I'm wrong. The team will let me know if I'm wrong. My feeling is that we're already pretty spread thin just with the volume of input that we get in Discord. if we spread that across a whole nother set of forums, then we're at risk of just, you guys will be giving us tons of feedback. It'll be good stuff, and we're not gonna hear it. We're not gonna do anything on it, right? So, who knows? Maybe the future is that we'll have LLMs like scanning all of it and constantly summarizing stuff accurately, so that we don't miss your thoughts, and giving it a community score. There's actually a company out of England that does like community sentiment stuff, and has been doing it for like 5 or 6 years, or maybe longer, before I think the LLMs really took off. And you know, that's kind of interesting, but I don't trust any of the LLMs yet. Like, my wife and I will use them for different things and kind of test it out, and it'll just be so inaccurate about certain shit, and we're just like, yep, this is not ready yet. All right, so we've got patch note, we got announcements, we got patch notes, we got bugs / known issues, we got updates. The updates will probably just go straight to where this updates is going. See the update up here in the header? Battery Peeler said, honestly, just let other people do it. They will anyway, and you can just browse them without the responsibility of moderating them. Yes, I already. It's interesting because different forums will have different personalities, and so in different communities, right? And it's cool to let them be them. You know what I mean? Like, not interfere with the way they talk or the culture that they have. There is one forum that I do frequent from time to time, and I do think they're very funny, even when they're calling me names. And the reason why I don't participate there is not because I care if someone calls me a naughty name. It's just because I would love to be able to communicate the way they communicate, and I can't professionally. And so why screw up their vibe when they're having a good time when I can't play along? But maybe one day we'll meet in real life, and there will be no cameras, and that will be that. And then it'll just be hearsay, or I'll be retired. And if anybody doesn't like it, they can kiss my grits. Dude, I need to get on Plex and just watch a bunch of old. I gotta get with Jasmine and watch some old TV, get her caught up. Smart man, AI is still crap. Needs a human to verify it. Yeah, every single time, man. It's basically, for me, I use air quotes AI as like a thesaurus. Sparrow said, right now, LLMs seem to be as good as the prompts. If you don't give it a lot of good info, upfront feedback will be sketchy. It gets a little wild, though. It gets confused, and it's like, I'm not disagreeing, but I think the degree to which you got to prompt it at times is like, I could have just done it. Yeah, fart nugget, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Ever thought of creating an anonymous persona so you can be free? No, I don't. I'm not into like sock puppet accounts and stuff. To me, that feels like lying. I'm not a big fan of I don't like that. I don't want to. I hate bullshitting, and I don't want to pull some stuff where I'm like on some weird sock puppet account or whatever. Honestly, I don't think about it that much outside of stream or discussing it with you guys or whatever. Like, I was talking to Jasmine about that earlier today even. It's just got so little time to get this shit done that we need to get done that I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, worrying about certain stuff or different people or the goal is just to constantly try to get us closer to delivering the best possible game for you guys. That's it. That is tough enough. You could suffer a head injury, develop a legit multiple personality disorder, so you have a sock puppet account without feeling like you're lying to people. People do it all the time, probably. That's also like time I just don't have. I don't have enough time to give a shit. I'm trying to stay healthy in real life, maintain a healthy relationship in real life, get some stuff done in real life, and then also do all the stuff that needs to be done for the team in the game. All right, so there was a good point about like new player guide. I'm not necessarily saying that this button, this button configuration needs to be the same. Purely aesthetic. Do you guys, what do you guys think about like I'm thinking we could do some, maybe, you know, we could probably do it like, have you guys seen here? I'll do this real quick. Actually, is there anybody in chat? I just realized, is there anybody in chat that doesn't know what we're doing here or what the game is or anything like that? I just assume everybody in chat these days has been around for a while. Apologies if that's not the case. Eric, are you still out there? Hey, Olgo, welcome. Fibber. Selling timeshare? I wish. Then we'd have more money to make the game. I wish I was a good whatchamacallit marketer. I was thinking, would it make more sense for the H to be in the parentheses here and not have it separate? I don't know. That clicked when I saw it the other day. I was like, oh man, I love all the new changes and stuff, and I've been meaning to mention that. Yeah, like John just did. Sorry, Sparrow. Yeah, Olga Dev's been here for a bit. Gabby Gouldish said, what is the H in parentheses? I think that will become clearer later. That's a good question. But it is the hotkey that you press. But I was thinking we could maybe get this type of some cool goblin buttons for the thing here. Ali should change his name to H. Ali. It took me a second, ZBrush, to actually see it. Ooh, hail in brackets even. Does that... Are we using... I think we've got it in parentheses throughout and not brackets. Yeah, see? It feels like a good opportunity for color coding commands and having all commands. But see, the problem is you don't know it's a command here. Yeah, so parentheses would work. But anyways, I mainly came here a little bit to show off the cool new page, but also to just look at these buttons, because I was kind of picturing like maybe something along these lines, or you know, or it could be flashier. It could be more like, could be a little more some style like that, I guess. Maybe changing the letter for a little image of the button itself. Like a keyboard key. Now we're getting pretty fancy. Not that it's a very cool idea. I always feel bad when I create more work for somebody. All right, Eric, just tossing it out there. Sorry. I think back to the top links would be good after each section on that page. That's not a bad idea. Did you hear that? The back to the top links, Eric? That is not a bad idea. We've got a table of contents right here as well, so maybe there's a yeah. Now I'm getting crazy. Guys, help me finish my homework. We'll stop making more work for Eric right now, and we'll finish up my homework. What was the reason to go into the webpage anymore? I just wanted to look at these buttons or these cool images, which are buttons. Our site definitely has some limitations on functionality because our site's still a holdover from basically us making it in Squarespace. Well, it is Squarespace, just because none of us wanted to make a website. All right. So we've got announcements. That's a big button. Or no, the announcement I think might just be the announcement kind of like posted there. Like it may say announcement and then an announcement right here. That can naturally be clicked to view all announcements. And then yeah, so and then all of these would wind up being will take you to specific pages or sections. So we've got announcements, patch notes, known issues / bugs, updates, server status being visible in the sidebar similar to RR's website. I think that let me look. But we're gonna have more than one server. But anyway, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this just as kind of something for us to think about then. Does anybody else do it cool that we need to totally not rip off? Server population would be interesting to see on the status page. Emulate, thank you. Our lawyer. Our dear legal counsel. Baloo. Baloo is my name too. So server status. Well, we'll make a little duder that comes off here. Oh, maybe these should all be dotted lines? I don't know that I like the dots better, to be honest. And then that'll loop back to... I don't want to loop it all the way there, so we're going to cheat. We're going to move this here. It's so nice to just listen to Robert's music and work. I was listening to Robert's music and working earlier on that lore stuff, and it was just... It's kind of surreal to know that it's our music. Like the music that I'm working to is our music. That's pretty wild. And the reason why I wanted to do this is so I could also then do a... Move these up. It's funny, like, I don't know. I kind of, I really, I'm glad I did this. I enjoy doing stuff like this with you guys because it's so much fun just to like work on stuff and be able to chat with you guys about, you know, your ideas or what you're seeing or whatever. It's nice to kind of crowdsource this because it's the same as, you know, a lot of the guys, especially in the same time zones on the team will get in and like do a dev and chill kind of thing where they'll live stream their stuff to the rest of the guys on the team, and so you can kind of catch stuff that you're doing wrong or get new ideas and stuff. So and it's all game development, right? I think people forget that all of this shit is stuff that we've got to take care of as part of getting the game up and running and working well for you guys. That's why I get jazzed about topics like, oh, we have better petitioning tools and, you know, customer service stuff and blah, blah, blah. It's all part of the, you know, it's all part of the service. It's all part of providing the best quality experience for all of you. It's not just like dragons and elves and squirrels and shit. All right, so we got announcements, big banner. I mean, honestly, it's probably gonna, you know, it's not gonna be like super thick. But it's like a good one for emergency. Servers are crashing randomly, so we need to rein it in. That actually happened back in the EQ days. We had like 2 weeks of a random server would just crash and roll back. Bespoke? What are you talking about? That was meant to be a play on the word spoke. No other cool sites for us to look at? people that do this well. Maybe a button for like a community showcase that goes to funny streams or videos. We've thought about that. It would be nice to showcase more community stuff. I wonder the best way to like do that fairly though. I try to do that a little bit. You know, we do that in Discord every once in a while. What are the big things you're excited for people to check out this playtest? I would say it's funny, I don't with a playtest like this, I'm not thinking of like a specific thing as much as I'm just hoping that if we have a decent influx of players that we remain as stable as possible. Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice for you guys to see the work that we've done in Evershade so far in Fail and Draw. So I think that's a big one. People playing elves will be a big one. That's a really good point. Maybe there is some sort of community. Well, we'll think about that one. I'm going to put a question mark on it, like a community, some way for people to showcase community content. So let me think about that. Like submit your channel and stuff like that. So we'll just put it down here in the corner. So Sparrow, I think I'll cheat. I'll use that. I think elves will be a good one. I'm really just hoping that people get in and play pretty naturally, and it really kind of goes without much of a hitch. That's the big thing, is right? Like, the big concern that I have going into these playtests would be that you guys are able to get in and play fairly naturally in an uninterrupted manner. So like not minimal server downtime, server restarts, need for big hot fixes or anything like that. If you're able to get in and just play normally and run into a minimal amount of technical issues, of course there's going to be tuning issues, of course there's going to be bugs that you run into, but nothing that's like really experience breaking, and the game remains stable and playable. And as a byproduct of that stability and people playing, you will naturally have feedback, but generally have like an acceptable time, then that will be huge, right? Because what we've got to look ahead to is we're looking ahead to early access. Early access is not going to be a finished game. Early access is not going to be bug free. It's not going to have, you know, going into early access is not going to have all of the polish that we want done. The idea that we're just not going to touch assets like zones, characters, props, UI, shit like that. That we will be continuing to work on that stuff throughout early access. So the biggest thing that, like, from my seat that I worry about as we work towards early access is the game /service stable? Is it reliable? Is it naturally as good as we can get it for early access? But again, we're going to be doing work in early access. Is there anything fundamentally broken? Right? So that's the kind of shit, like, people mad about their class relative to another class, pet balance, certain things like that. What about this spell? This feels off. What about this item? That feels off. That's all going to be normal going into early access, especially given that we're a volunteer-based, fully distributed, crazy-ass MMO project. If we can get to the point where we know going into early access that the game's going to be stable, and as performant as possible, and just not like critically broken in any area where it's like, oh shit, like the economy is completely wrecked, or then it gets into that, like, the feel, like you're saying, Q Stewart. Does it feel good? And does it feel good for enough people? Because I think there will probably always be a certain percentage of people naturally that's like not feeling it, don't dig this, don't dig that. But there may be some things where we're getting feedback or complaints on feel, and it's like, yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. It's I think gonna be related to progression rates, itemization and progression. Like, do the beats feel compelling, right? Like things like that. And we're getting a lot of feedback in alpha on that topic. But my hope is that if we're showing that we've got a stable product, we're responsive to your needs, we're able to maintain good policies with regards to customer service, we're very active in resolving your issues in customer service, and we're delivering updates consistently, which we've been pretty good about that, right? Like, you saw the patch notes, you'll see an update coming out right after this playtest. We'll have a new update for July and August, right? Like, you can go through our historic updates, right? You can see where we're always we're always working, right? Then I hope that what that means is the $15 a month makes sense to you guys, because it's, that we're constant, it's solid in terms of stability and blah blah blah, and we're constantly delivering and making the game better, right? Because like 1K says, I think there are two camps for EA: those that think it's a pre-launch state, and those that know it's alpha. Might be good to distinguish between the two somewhere eventually. I think more and more we're going to continue to communicate for EA what EA is, right? So will we have 3, 6, and 12 month sub options? I think we've discussed them. We probably will. I would be concerned about releasing like 12-month options straight out of the gates. If we do have like 3, 6, 12-month sub options early in EA, then we're definitely going to put like a big disclaimer on there. It says like, hey, realize this is the state of the game. Like, do not give us 3, 6, or 12 months worth of cash if you're not very familiar with the game. You've been digging through old MMO sites on a Wayback Machine. Feel old, man. Hey, it is lifetime memberships don't make good sense, because they're either too cheap to be a true representation of your potential lifetime value to us, or they're so expensive that we wouldn't want to take that from you. But 1K, it's a fair point, but I think we'll just continue to hammer home like this is what to expect. And I think that'll be something, like, we want to get this community dashboard up sooner rather than later, and that'll be something that we can also communicate in different, like, the FAQs and other stuff. So we may combine like roadmaps and development history and have that just be like a page that's kind of the way it is now, because we already got something kind of like that with here if you go to early access. So maybe we'll just do that again, development. Updates will still be on the banner. Updates will still be up here. That's why I was asking before if it felt redundant or not. You want updates to be made to you from a personal call from Sean every time or a team member? I mean, we can make that happen. You just need to be really filthy rich. I will absolutely be willing to do that for you personally. I wouldn't even pawn that off on anybody. I would do that for you personally. You just need to be worth a lot of cash that you're going to give us, no questions asked. Read off the patch notes for the update right now. Do you have you seen how much there would be to read? Sorry, I need to ask Ali a question. You can also check it out on Reddit. The Kilobox says, I worry about certain trades being so must-have. Some of the new race ones seem really good, that it might cause issues if you never get a chance to use them. Old character or pick another without knowing. Oh, I missed your first statement. I have a question that might work with the idea of change in EA and some of the new things added with the last patch for the next playtest. With traits being updated constantly, is there ever going to be a way to alter them? Yeah, something like that where we're updating. I would say even if long term in the game we say something like you can't change your face or whatever, if we're adding new faces to the game, then we're going to allow you to change your face. And that needs to be the case with traits as well, right? So if we're adding new traits, then we need to allow for characters to respec those traits, right? That to me just seems like it's a fair approach on that. Excuse me. In terms of the patch notes for this coming playtest, you can find them on Reddit or you can find them on that link in Discord. There's a lot going on there, so I'm not going to read through them all here. Are certain traits going to be baked into races as well? Yeah, there will be some racial traits, unless something changed or I misunderstood it, but it's my understanding there will be racial traits that will be a set part of different races as well. But here you can see I'm scrolling through these notes. They're hefty. And then these and maybe more will be included in the update. I think it may be just a bit of semantics. Join a cult. It's I think that's maybe just semantics and presentation of those traits, those characteristics. You know what I mean? Did I ever get an answer about level locked one? Level locked traits? What do you mean? Oh, in the patch notes. Oh yeah, we just the crap, I just minimized everything. Hold on one second. We discussed that. We discussed that some. It led to some interesting discussion. They are currently level locked. Yeah. Let me find. So like the bone construct, correct. I think the racial traits being separate is more along the lines of the new ogre smash having to be taken as a major trait right now, not just because you're an ogre. No, it's my understanding the way that we'll set that up in the future is that you'll have certain predefined traits that are pre-selected and it's just immutable. It's as a X, you have that trait. We may have additional traits that you have available because you are a certain race or a certain class. And then there'll be traits that are like a general pool. Yeah. No. It's not like because you're an ogre, your main trait, like your major whatever trait is predefined for you. So it'll be some things are predefined, others are available because of, and then others, the rest are just traits that are available. So that if that's what you're worried about, then that's an easy one to fix. Whether or not you know, one race should have this trait versus that, or whether or not a trait's too good, or that's all stuff that we've got to just kind of hammer out. And we'll continue to gather feedback through alpha, beta, and maybe even, you know, like I said, don't be surprised if we're figuring some stuff out even during early access. Yeah, we will probably, Zaire said, so kind of like adding more drop downs instead of major or minor and have a racial, then have a couple choices. We'll probably even be looking at the best way to present some of this stuff in the character create UI as well, right? So don't think that those UIs are like set in stone and totally final. Who else is streaming? It's about time for me to wrap up. So who's got a stream going? Who just started streaming? I got all. What? Not that I'm trying to pawn you off. Zukin. Oh dear, Zukin. I love him. All right, good. Okay. Now, the only thing that I would want to do though is, because I didn't feel like we had a good opportunity to say goodnight on Wednesday. And I want to say goodnight to you properly tonight, because then the next time we'll see each other is on Monday. I'm glad you guys asked that question. So what we'll do is we'll say goodnight now. Nobody leave. Everybody stick around for Zukin because we love Zukin. We'll say goodnight now, and then I'll raid Zukin. How's that sound? Cool? JJWF, thank you for the shout out. That is very nice of you. All right, so let's say goodnight, and then we're going to raid Zukin. Who all started already? Goodnight, Zaire. A kiss on the cheek. That's a little... Hey, that's presumptuous, Redress. But I'll take it. It's Friday. Tsunami-san, goodnight. Dadvik, goodnight now. Impact VR, night. Justin Beard. Hey, thanks for being here, buddy. We're going to figure something out and give you that tattoo, Justin Beard. Robert, see you, my friends. Gunavolov, have a good weekend. Akelabach, good night. Sparrow, have a great night. Have a great weekend. Hopefully I'll see most of you on Monday in-game. Zaire, Chat Solo, good night, Eric. Q, Stuart, see you. Corvus, see ya. Yeah, when you get to Zukin, refresh the tab. If you're on PC, sometimes it doesn't count you as a viewer. Komori Akuma, thank you for the follow. SSA Blue Knight, good night. Lasava, thanks for being here. Meeks, Regis, Good night. Thanks for being here. I was just picking on you earlier. Meeks, see you. Thanks for that, Meeks. I will have nightmares. Davion, take care. Join a cult. I'm not going to do that, but good night, Coot. Good night, Wicca Sloth. Ori and Naru, see you. Jumpin', good night. Harms and me, take care. Tribori, yeah, hopefully I do see you Monday. Bill, see you, buddy. Bretonius Gaming, take care. I appreciate it. Kamori, yo, just came from JJWF stream. Game looks fun. Hey, thank you for that. Be sure that you guys are on our Discord. Where's the buttons? My stream deck has really been shitty lately. Be sure to get in our Discord. Join the mailing list. We're almost at 10,000. Yeah, I think that'd be good for now. Check the VODs. Throbgrave, see you. Classic EverQuest. Join a cult. Mir, see you on Monday. XV, good night. Have a great weekend. 1K, thanks again. See ya. See ya, Dragon. Weirdo, take care. Sinrus, I'm not sure what you're talking about with the nudes, but fair enough. If you want me to send them, I just need $3 million. Nasamuli, take care, and let's raid now. All right, hopefully everybody's still here. Nobody left, right? Some of you left. See? Can't follow instructions. You're just not instructions followers. All right, we're raiding now. Start the raid. But a bunch of people don't follow instructions. You're everybody that did not follow the instructions is on the list. You're on the list. All right, we're raiding now. All of you that are still here, thank you. You guys are awesome. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday.